You know, I'm really starting to understand why Smack and Beasley never went to Philly before, because this crowd is really hard to please. I mean, they kept booing Calico. Any little thing he said that didn't hit, they was booing Calico. Same thing with Jersey Twerk. So I'm gonna, go through every round, let y'all know what happened. Calico goes first. So I admit he did start off a little slow, okay? But you know Calico, he like to explain stuff, and then finally he'll get to the punch. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he starts. He says something like, "Make a bar out of a word I never knew, niggas. These pyro out of the blue niggas." He kept saying things like that in that flow. The crowd was feeling it. Then he was like, "What you want? I want to be a blood. I want to be a crip." That's like Bruce saying, "I want to be a bitch." Like he was basically telling, that was the angle he had on Twerk. Is that all of a sudden you want to be Pyru, you want to be a blood, a crip, what you want to be. Okay, then he was talking to him. This was like a talk to you kind of round, and he says something like, "The gang is for the people. You ain't listening to Nip." And of course he referring to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace, Nipsey. Next bar, he says something like, "Don't even look over there. ... All my niggas on tip, cause I'm paranoid. I was looking at the tape like, nigga, why you didn't do shit?" So he basically saying he on edge, you better not look over there or do nothing stupid, cause my niggas is on tip. I'm paranoid. I was looking at that tape like, nigga, why you didn't do shit? Referring to Summer Impact Reloaded. Next bar, he says, "Oh, he was talking about Twerk, basically, going to NWX and then dropping out a few hours later. Oh, you was looking for a New Jersey Twerk, So I thought that was kind of funny. So he was solid in the first round. He was solid. The crowd let him rock in the first round. And then Twerk goes. So he says something. I thought this was a nice little line. "Oh, you mad, Cal? You shouldn't have took this meal in the first place." So that was a play on words for mad cow. Remember a few years ago, it was like mad cow disease. I thought that was fire. And then he says something about, "You better not take my hood." Remember, this was like a year ago when Cal threatened to take Twerk's hood off. This is around the time when Twerk was supposed to battle Verb. Okay, so he was talking about, "Oh, y'all think this nigga hard because he threatened to take my hood off? I'll be impressed if you can land. Let's see if you can pull that off," and he, gestured as if he's on the ground. "See if you can land, see if you can pull that off." So the crowd, they was liking that. And then he was like, "Something warm under the hood. Check engine light." Of course, he's talking about his hoodie. Then he do the strapped in. "I'm strapped in. I'm strapped in." And then he say something. The punch was like, poke holes in the shoebox. "I got an animal to something." I couldn't get it. Because Twerk was PB loud. So my bad. I didn't get the very end. I'm going to watch it again though. I'll probably do a bar for bar on it. Okay, then he says something like, "You got Twerk on a ball and chain, like Miley Cyrus." So he was fire in the first round. I definitely had to give it to Twerk in that first round. The crowd let them rock in the first. So now in the second round, Calico starts off about Twerk stealing, grandma purses, and he was slow at it, taking a while to get to any good lines. A lot of his lines wasn't really hitting. So then all of a sudden he said a nice bar. He said something like, "They gonna think I'm AR Ab, ... Let the Maxine and give him a boy head like Overton." So that sitcom from back in the 90s, Living Single, was Maxine and Overton. But of course he meant like that Mac scene, like the gun, and give him a bald head like Overton. Overton was a guy, he was a maintenance guy, he had a bald head. So that was a fire bar. So he started going on, and then all of a sudden he brung it back like 8 bars, y'all. So he stumbled, and then he brung it all the way back, and the crowd was getting anxious, like, "Come on, man, we know you choking, you bringing it all the way back." So then Calico started smiling, like, because he know he messed up. So then the crowd starts booing. And he gave up, and he jerseyed out the round. So that was the second. So now we go to Twerk's second round. So In the second round, Twerk was pretty good. Some of his bars was hitting, some of it was missing. Now the ones that was missing, the crowd was just booing. Like they was just like restless. Like as soon as he said a bar that did not land, they was booing. And you know how Twerk is. As soon as you don't mess with Twerk and you don't like a bar, it's like he give up so easily. So even though he went longer than Cal in the second round, you know, he still cut the round short. So I still gave that second round to Twerk. So already Twerk was up 2. Now we go to Calicoe round 3. Calicoe starts off, all you could tell it was a big difference in the sound. You could barely hear Cal, so he kept having mic issues every time he started. Okay, he had to stop so they could finish his mic, fix his mic. That was already twice. So the crowd was getting restless. Okay, so then he said a nice little a line. I'm about to knock him out his hood. He getting gentrified. I thought that was fire. You know what gentrified is? When a lot of the people got to move out the neighborhood and everything, and then, you know, white people start moving in and stuff, and they usually pay people off to move too. So that was a nice little bar, he said. Then he started calling out different battle rappers. One of them was Ab, the battle rapper, and then all of a sudden the crowd starts booing again because he said something about, look at Twerk with this tag, this toe tag. He say a bar about toe tag, and the crowd was like, oh hell no, and they just started booing him. And right when they started booing him, Cal gives up and he jerseys out the round. So that third round was very short. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is just a disaster. Like nothing is going right now. So already I knew that he lost the third round. So here comes Twerk. He starts off, I hate y'all niggas. I should take the shoebox, drugs, stash like Adolf Hitler. And the crowd was feeling that. You know who Adolf Hitler is, okay? He was like a leader. He killed a lot of Jews back then. He was very racist. He was like a terrorist. But anyway, next bar. Next victim say, I stole another woman's purse. I'm a 9 West. And the crowd was feeling that. So then all of a sudden, y'all, T-Top, the battle rapper, come out, like Twerk say a bar, then T-Top comes out and was going to say, started saying a bar. All of a sudden, everybody started booing T-Top off the rip. I couldn't believe it. And I don't know if it has something to do with the summer repacking Reloaded, being that T-Top didn't fight or whatever. I don't know, because they was rocking with Rock. They was rocking with Tay-Rock. So why wasn't they rocking with T-Top? T-Top just came out to say a bar, and they booed T-Top off the rip. Okay, so Twerk was like, oh, y'all not effing with us? You know what? F this. And he just jersey out, y'all. Like, he didn't even try. And I kind of, you know, understand. He feels like they not, and he even said, y'all don't even respect us. I ain't going to rap. Like, he feel like he didn't want to rap because the crowd wasn't respecting them. The crowd kept booing them after any little line that they didn't like. So I'm a little disappointed, you know. It really did. The crowd was really being unfair. But I still had to give every round to Twerk, even though this wasn't a great battle. Twerk still did better than Cal. All right, so last battle is Cassidy versus Arsenal. Let's see how this go. All right, see y'all later.